dude. I would have
I
fucking
started
won.
Aaron Rodgers over Patrick Mahomes like we all knew I should have.
Jalen Hurts
I'm-
got me negative, 0.4 points.
Jesus Christ.
I think that could be the worst fantasy performance ever from
That
a
was
quarterback.
hey.
Nathan
we're
Peterman's was worse, but that was
we're
bad.
gonna- We're gonna talk about how he was. We're gonna talk about how generational that play was.
Yeah,
later.
could we talk about also Josh is the worst person to, like, if your team is on prime time, Josh is the worst person to be like texting because this
Well,
guy.
I gotta mute it because you guys are always ahead.
I'm gonna start muting it because every time that anything happens, this guy sends. You know what he sent? Oh, in this one game, Jalen Hurts has more turnovers than Jordan Love has had this whole season.
Because
like, what
he did.
are we doing, bro?
He did. He had
Oh my
he
God,
had 5 turnovers in the game, and Jordan Love has thrown 4 interceptions, and had 0 fumbles this year.
Yeah, he also
You-
has 0 Super Bowl appearances and wins.
Ooh.
Good morning, New York City, and welcome to Behind Enemy Lines, a retrospective of 3 fan bases. New episodes every Wednesday at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
He
I was
playing
reacting to the fact
ridiculously
that
well.
Freddy ended the season bottom 3 in points scored.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Behind Enemy Lines. Back again, here with a brand new episode, an action-packed episode here. We have 5 big games to talk about, 10 teams that are all kind of in a weird spot / going on a pretty nice run here. And yeah, you know, it's been a wild NFL week. It's been a rough one here for Behind Enemy Lines. 1-2 on the week. Not feeling very good.
I'm feeling great.
I'm feeling great. I don't know what you're talking about, Freddie.
In fact, Freddy, I have a song for you. We don't have the music rights to this, so you might have to cut it out. But, you know, you hear that, Freddy? You hear that, Freddy? Oh, man, welcome to the Black Parade. We're in a funeral here, Freddy. A funeral for the Philadelphia
funeral-
Eagles. That's right.
Okay.
I wore black just for you today, man. Look at
All
this.
right. Well, listen, we'll get to the Eagles. There's no funeral for the Eagles. I'm very optimistic. I'm all smiles. I was all smiles all last night.
No, you
Um,
weren't.
Yeah,
No,
no, I
you
was.
weren't.
Yeah, I was.
Chat, pull up the text. Pull it.
I was all smiles yesterday. Just excitement, just happiness.
No, my quote was, what was it? It was, "We know the drill. You're gonna say it's fine tomorrow."
I texted Josh. I was like, "Is he for real, or are we skipping an episode here? What's
No,
going
we're
on?"
not, I did want to skip an episode, but I was being dumb about it. There's no way we were gonna skip one, especially after something like that. You just can't.
You can't.
Um,
No way.
listen, I feel like it takes a lot of courage to come on the show today. So you know what? I'm gonna give myself a round of applause here. It's taken a lot to come on here, but we're gonna talk
Okay.
first.
Do you hear that applause? Silence.
Yeah, that's kind of
Anyways,
how
continue.
the Eagles' offense was yesterday.
Oh,
We're gonna start the show with Cowboys at Lions here. This was a big game. It was the Thursday night game. This was kind of in the must-win-ish for the Cowboys and the Lions, both teams. But you know, it ended up as a Lions win. Cowboys defense completely crumbled when they didn't need to. Deron Bland was left flat on his face several times, as he has been all season. Brayden, how are you feeling after the Cowboys loss?
Okay, so a couple of points here. First of all, I'm very excited to use one of these first-round picks on a corner this offseason, or I mean even just a trade. We'll talk about this, by the way, later. But I'm glad the Cowboys didn't trade for Sauce Gardner. That price would have been crazy.
Absolutely insanely.
Yeah, I mean, you
decision
can never
by
plan for
Terry.
injuries, but just the price on that alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Honestly, here's what I'll say. It kind of feels like, and granted, so we all said last week, because Josh was quick to remind me, we all did say that the Lions were fighters last week, right?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Okay, and that hasn't changed from before the game to after the game. Obviously, I would assume. This might feel like I'm setting you up. I am. So what I'll say though is it feels like the Cowboys this week. Now, granted, I am still staunchly saying, I said this last week, you know, if they beat the Chiefs, punched the playoff ticket, and I still hold to that. I still believe that playoff ticket is coming. What I will say is that the Cowboys this week felt like the Lions did against the Packers. Their number one wide receiver is having a stud game, and he goes out. He gets injured, out with a concussion, doesn't come back, right? And granted, right, Sherman went off on George Pickens, and rightfully so. Pickens didn't do much during the game. But what I'll say is CD was having a generational game. Had over 100 receiving yards when he was out of the game. And you know what? They lost the game in the clutch. The defense still needs work, but
work is like
work is kind of an understatement.
But I still have faith, right? Because we talked about momentum this entire time. Like, I feel like the Cowboys are a momentum-based team. I think the Lions match up with them really well because that offense cannot be stopped. And in an offensive shootout, it really is who has the ball last.
That team did stop them.
I mean,
two of them here actually did.
Yeah, maybe.
It's lost by 14. It's not like you guys were down by possession.
Yeah.
But here's what I'll say is I do feel good if CD comes back, which he will. They said that he's progressing normally, like he should be back this week. If CD comes back, I still feel like the Cowboys run the table. I still feel like the Cowboys eke into the playoffs there. This actually just makes me feel better about the Lions, that the Lions are for real. And not only that, Jameson Williams in this game really was a promising note for the Lions because, honestly, Amon-Ra getting hurt for half a game might have been the thing that they needed against the Packers because Jameson Williams led the team in yardage that game, and then he led the team in yardage again this week. I think that they are in a position now that the Lions are going to ramp this up and become a genuine threat in the NFC. So I think we just saw two. I know y'all can clown me for it. We can replay this soundbite. But I think we saw two competing teams take place on Thursday, and there might be a rematch of this if we're so lucky in the playoffs.
You want to go first, Freddy? I can go first.
Yeah. I kind of want to go first here.
Go first.
I think, Brayden, you put this very well, and I think that you gave a great opening line for this. Where I disagree with you guys is that I do not think the Cowboys are making the playoffs. But I do think that the Lions will. Everything needs to go right for the Cowboys to make it right now. Literally everything. And you guys do not have as easy of a schedule coming up as you think you might. You're going up, and the Vikings, we could talk about how bad they are. I think the Vikings are a bad team.
That's
but
a win.
For a lot of teams, the Cowboys here have kind of been that get right with your secondary team. And we saw what McCarthy was able to do against a bad secondary with the Commanders. I think that the Vikings game is a trap one that is setting up for you guys right here. And I want to talk about Pickens because I think that this is a very important topic that is going to be talked about a lot by people. And I think it needs to be because the Steelers didn't trade Pickens because of his lack of talent and lack of production. That wasn't it. They traded him for this exact reason because in moments where everything starts to not go right, Pickens shuts down. He does not step up, and that just happens to him. And it isn't, he steps up in big moments when things are going right, but when CeeDee Lamb, your number one guy, gets knocked out, who's having an outstanding game, and Dak is putting the ball where he needs to put it, and he's trying to make every play that's asked of him, and you have your running backs even making every play that they're trying to make, you need your guy to step up. And at some point, if you're the wide receivers coach, you got to go up to Pickens and be like, dude, you got a lot of money on the line here. You cannot do something like this because the Cowboys aren't going to pick you up. And honestly, they will be fine without you. You could leave, and I feel like this team will still be fine. Pickens needs to get rid of that attitude of if things aren't going right, I'm going to shut down. And then going off on Richard Sherman. Did you see that? When he went crazy.
His Instagram did not make sense. I love the guy. He did not make sense at all. What I will say to GP's credit, okay? is that it did feel, now granted, Richard Sherman, Legion of Boom, legendary player. He's not in the Hall of Fame yet, but he will be.
No, he will be. Super Bowl champion, 3 Super Bowls, like that.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Fame player. But it did feel a little, in my opinion, overreactionary to one mid-game. Now, granted, yes, it was a must-win game for the Cowboys, right? But one mid-game, when this guy is third in the league in receiving right now, only behind Puka Nacua and JSN, right? It's like, yes, he had one bad game and they lost, but I don't necessarily think that, if he goes out there and he catches 80 more yards, like you said, it was a 2-possession game. Does it make it closer? Sure. But I don't think necessarily that the Cowboys win that. And every receiver is bound to have a bad game, right? Like, you don't see them ripping into Nico Collins or Zay Flowers or even, CeeDee Lamb, these guys that are like, should be number ones for their team.
It's the attitude he has, though. It's the adjustment.
I can't. I think, like, CeeDee Lamb, and first off, CeeDee Lamb is, like, proven to be this guy. CeeDee Lamb's that guy. Nico Collins and Zay Flowers are not in this position that George Pickens is in, where it's like, this is your make or break right here for a team to just completely, like, transform you from this guy on the Steelers that people were like, we're not quite sure, to this is like a household name. Nobody's looking at Nico Collins and Zay Flowers like, these guys are household names right here. People are kind of looking at them as like, they'll catch the ball, and if they don't, we don't expect too much out of them. It's kind of like A.J. Brown, I feel, with George Pickens, and that's like kind of where he's kind of being graded right now, I feel.
Just feels like he gives up sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'll position this. How we feel about Jamar Chase? Just in general. Great wide receiver, one of the greatest in the league.
I mean, yeah.
Easily. Yeah. Probably the best.
Yes. Okay, so the Bengals have a losing record right now. Granted, they're, kind of making some noise in that division just because it is kind of a weaker division right now. But they're making some noise. You go back to, like, that 34-12 game with the Steelers. He had 3 catches for 30 yards. And nobody, nobody's freaking out.
Yeah, but was he really, like, after the game making any noise himself?
Well, that was the thing, though, is George Pickens wasn't making noise until Richard Sherman made noise. That's what I'm saying. Is that?
Yeah, but you can't react to that either.
Well,
Richard
sure,
Sherman has a pass. He can say whatever he wants. You know what I mean? He's not on the field like that.
Sure, but what I'm saying is it does feel like, I understand George Pickens' frustration because it does feel like it's cherry picking. It's like as soon as he doesn't perform in one game where he has been performing all season, he's the 3rd highest receiving yards in the league. As soon as he doesn't perform in one game, and if you listen to that soundbite, Richard Sherman goes off.
Richard Sherman does go a little insane with it.
And that's where I sit there and I go, look, he has every right to say that, but also, like, give the guy a break a little bit. I understand where Pickens was frustrated because it's like, dude, what else do I need to be doing on the season-wise? Yes, it was one bad game, but every receiver's bound to have one game, even the best in the league in, like, Jamar Chase. I mean, we talk about Justin Jefferson. Everyone's talking about, he's kind of falling off this year, but it's quarterback play, all that. Nobody's being like, you need to get your head in the game. And nobody's lighting into him, and he's
it's because Justin Jefferson's quarterback situation is so bad.
It's abysmal.
Pickens has a good quarterback.
But you see what I'm saying, where it's like Pickens has had a phenomenal year, and then all of a sudden he's getting dogged for one bad game, and he's getting dogged on national television aggressively. I understand where he's coming from. Yes, what Sherm said was correct, but I think it went a little too far, and I understand where Pickens is kind of freaking out about it.
That's fair. That's not the reason the Cowboys lost the game, though. Like, let's just be clear.
No, not at all.
George Pickens looked like he would give up on some plays, and he really just was not having a good game, but that's not why they lost. Your defense regressed back to what they are.
Correct.
You could not stop the Lions all night. And I said it, and I still believe it, even though the Eagles lost, and we'll get there. I thought the loser of this game will miss the playoffs. If the Lions lost, their chance for a wild card is done, and now your path is even harder than it was. And it was already difficult to win the division. You're not getting a wild card. It's not happening. You need to somehow have the Eagles continue to collapse. And the Chargers showed they can beat anybody. The Cowboys can be a competitive team. They're a competitive team, exactly like you said. They're not a playoff team. They can't make it. It's just too little too late for them.
So
You know
I
what
will
mean?
say some silver lining in here, though, as you talk about the defense. I know it was an abysmally also, by the way, our special teams was terrible. Like every
Oh my God, they
return-
started in great position every time.
every
time.
single drive they were getting that kick return down to like the 40-yard line. What I will say is that still, yes, while David Montgomery had some good yardage on the ground, Gibbs had some decent yardage on the ground, but nothing
He had
was
7 catches for 77 yards. He
and
was
that's where I go to where I talk about the promising part about this. The reason
You
why
could stop the run. Good job.
that we can stop the run.
Good job.
But no,
You need
no,
a pass rush.
genuinely- Yes, well, but genuinely, it's one of those things where I sit there and I'm like, look, we're talking here on Tuesday, and maybe it's because we played on Thursday and I had time for it to ruminate. Maybe it's because of the Monday Night Football game, but it's where I'm feeling better. And the silver lining, once again, is that, yes, I can sit there and go, Monty had 60 yards on the ground. That's crazy. Gibbs had 43, right? So that's over 100 rushing yards as a team, okay? But on the other side of that, we've seen that offense gash people so much on the ground. And so for us, it to me, it's something I'm like, okay, you know what? Going into next year, not even talking about this year, going into next year, what can we pinpoint that we need to fix? We need to fix our corners. We need to fix our pass defense. Our rush defense is I feel better about
So
it.
do you know what helps those corners in that pass defense is getting a good pass rush. And what the Packers showed is when you have a good pass rush, it doesn't matter if your corners are decent. You can make Jared Goff look like a pumpkin, man, a tomato. That guy.
That's also what
We
the
beat him
Eagles
twice.
showed. It's just that's all they
Yeah,
showed.
you
Yeah,
get to Jared Goff, he's gonna mess up. And if you had a generational type player at your pass rush position,
We did. It didn't help.
trust me, it would help immensely. And
Look at
This
last
year, if you guys had him, I think you would be probably top of our division.
I think you'd be in a way better position. Like the Packers, the reason we can do so well is we can rush 4 and still get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
And Mike has held every play. He's double teamed. It doesn't matter. Our other guys are getting home,
Yeah.
and he's still getting home too, and that helps immensely.
I know we're going. I know we're going off on a tangent, but I will say Mike. Again, we've talked about this. Mike is amazing.
Generational.
Sure, but what I will say is that the Cowboys defense was not one player away, and so
No,
think
it's,
one player away.
it is all corners though. And this is where I do kind of agree with Brayden is that front line is pretty good, and that's where when they go against a team like the Chargers, it could be dangerous. But again, I think the Eagles' front line is better, and Herbert is shifty, and I'm sure he'll have a good hand by then.
he looked like a dog last night. Man.
He
That's
was. We'll get to Herbert.
Well,
'cause
he looked like a dog, and he looked like a dog. I mean,
Yeah.
he was,
Well, we'll get to Herbert. We're gonna give. I give Herbert a lot of credit playing with a broken hand like that. We'll get to him, but
Maybe that's the secret because Rodgers had a great game too. So
yeah, honestly, maybe just
Hey.
break your hand.
break your left hand, your
break your
non-throwing
left
hand.
and you'll be
dude, that was a
great.
vintage Rodgers performance. I was watching him run in. That was giving me flashbacks to Chicago. Oh, it was great.
I know that's not on our schedule today, but
No,
quick little guess, and then we'll get back to the Cowboys game. I promise, listeners, we're we're a little bit everywhere. But quick thing, 'cause I don't think we have a single game from that division on our schedule today. Who wins that division? Just quick little.
Steelers.
Really?
100%.
I'm still
Steelers.
saying Ravens, man.
I was Ravens, but Lamar and I'm not going. I think Lamar has a fine leash that he should not. He is the main reason why this team isn't performing well on offense because he's been pretty bad. I just don't think. I think something this season is in the air with that team, and I think it is coaching and Lamar's kind of duo there. I think the Steelers have a better overall team and coach, and
I also just think you look at their schedule. It's like the
Yeah.
Bengals are still playing for something. The Patriots are still playing for something. The Packers are still playing for something. And then they'll have the Steelers at the end. It's like no one's going to go light on them.
They do have a
And
tough schedule, yeah.
It's like it's not easy. Everyone's got something to play for, and the Steelers might be playing for the division in that same game, and it's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
It does feel like this year more than any other year, and maybe it's because we're having that legendary draft class finally get older. It does feel like, with the exception of Christian McCaffrey, that the age cliff for running backs has really kind of come back. We saw it with Saquon. Granted, Saquon had some great runs last night, but in the menial runs and the 1 to 2 yards that he typically would get 4 to 5 yards on, and then even
Which is
Derrick
better than
Henry,
he'd been doing.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. And again with Derrick Henry, it's like even where he typically would get like 9 to 10 yards on a run that he would get hit at the line, he's getting like 2 to 3.
He's also he's progressing too.
And so I do think we're finally seeing. I mean, we can go into like Nick Chubb, but that kind of happened last year, and that regression and all that. I do think we're starting to see that running back age cliff. Now the question would be, is it worth it to give a running back that age like so much money, right? Like Christian McCaffrey, would you throw a massive contract if, let's say, like you're the Eagles next year or whatever, let's say you get rid of Saquon, you throw a massive contract at CMC to try to contend one more year, right? It's like that's that kind of that question that teams are going to have to start asking where, do you throw a ton of money at a running back even if they're at the older end, knowing that you're probably going to get what Saquon is this year and Derrick Henry?
Well, I think, sure that could be a question, but I mean, it really couldn't have gone better for them last season.
Oh,
Saquon,
exactly. So that's what I'm saying. You're
Derrick
basically
Henry.
paying
Like if you're
for
doing that and you're going to get one good year where you get a Super Bowl, I still think the Saquon contract was worth it. I don't care.
Oh, 100%.
Oh,
Like,
you got a Super Bowl.
Yeah, we got a ring because of him. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, to me, it's more about the Ravens.
He could
right?
be bad for the rest of like the entirety of his contract. We got a Super Bowl. I'm cool with it. I'd hate if he was bad because I want another one, but right? And it seems like we could, but it's just I would put the money down for a running back like that if you could get a season like Henry had or like Saquon had last season. Like if, for example, if somebody like I'm trying to think of like a really good running back right now, but Bijan, bad team. Say it's when he's like 28 or so, he's lost a little bit of a step. If a team signs him, like I think the Packers are a good example of this. If the Packers sign him, they will win a Super Bowl with him, even if he ends up being bad, and that'll be worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're seeing
Getting
that
a
with
ring's
Josh
worth it.
Jacobs.
Same
already.
with Jonathan Taylor. I think he's probably the next one. That makes more sense.
He probably would
Yeah.
be, and we'll get to the Colts there because that's a wild situation. Hey, Philip Rivers officially signed, by the way.
Yeah, I saw
He
that.
did.
Yes.
He's on the
so
practice
excited.
squad.
He must have another kid on the way. That must be it, man. his oldest is like a month younger than Riley Leonard. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's absolutely crazy. So back to the Cowboys game.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I was gonna say. Let's wrap
You
that
guys,
up.
you guys
They're
keep
still
talking. I'm gonna
alive.
close my door, but keep talking.
All right. So I think that they still have life. Josh, you think they're done?
I mean, technically, yeah, they're still alive. But you have one very specific,
Doors closed.
narrow path. You can compete in any game, but you need the Eagles to continue to do what I guess they've been doing for 3 weeks in a row, which we'll get to. But is that actually going to I mean, you cannot have another loss on the season. It's like you have one path.
Yeah, you really can't lose.
It's the division. And
So I position you this. Let's pretend Cowboys win out. Let's just that's the thing that needs to happen, right? For any
that would
of
make
this
them, 10-6-1?
Yeah, for any of this to be a conversation, let's say the Cowboys win out. The Eagles are 1.5 games above them.
Yes.
Let's assume with the way that the Bills are playing right now, that the Bills have kind of rediscovered it, that the Bills game is a loss because it is in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's just assume that. Let's pretend that that's
fair.
a thing.
Yeah.
You have 3 games left, and they only can lose 1. You got the Raiders, you're going to win that. You should win that. If you lose that, the season's over.
Yeah, I agree. If they lose to the Raiders, then I would be down with them just losing out. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be cool.
I mean, it would be.
It's that would be so demoralizing to a team. Yeah. So you have the Raiders. Okay, you're gonna win that. But then you have the Commanders on the road and the Commanders at home, who you haven't played yet all year. Now, granted, you're not gonna be playing Jaden Daniels. He's probably gonna get shut down for the
Honestly,
season.
that might have been better to play Jaden.
It might have been better with
Maybe.
the way he was playing this year. Like Mariota's looked good, and so
He's fine.
Yeah, he's had like games like against the Broncos, he was good.
Yeah.
And so you have those. He can play upset, and one of those games is on the road. The good news for you is that the road game happens before the Buffalo game, right? Your last game is not on the road on the season. But, like we've talked about with this noise, Freddy, if you go into that last game, let's say they flex it to Sunday Night Football,
It's a must-win. Yeah.
and the Cowboys win out, so you already know that you have to win that game to win the division, or you lose and you're out of the playoffs. Do you trust the Eagles to shut out the noise, or are you shaking in your boots that this team might upset you? Especially knowing
think,
you're in Philly and they might
Yeah.
boo you if you have a deficit in the first half.
I think I trust them in a situation like that. I can't say that I don't trust them in a situation like that because I haven't really. I can't go against a situation like that. I think that if it comes down to something like that, they will probably be able to get it together and take down Mariota. The Buffalo game, I do think we'll lose. There is no real doubt in my mind that one's not going to be a win. The reason why I think the Cowboys won't make it, and this is not a slight on them. Like, I'm not slighting the Cowboys in any way. They lost too many games already. And the Eagles' schedule is so ridiculously easy remaining to the point that, like, this Buffalo game is an affordable loss. Like, you could be like, yeah, sure, that's fine. Because the Commanders and the Raiders are so bad this season. And the Commanders do love playing spoiler. But this Commanders team is so bad that they got shut out by the Minnesota Vikings. Like, I was worried until that, I think.
And, like, here's the biggest problem is I'd say you both have comparable schedules to finish it out. I think you both have one really hard game. Cowboys have Chargers. Eagles have Bills. You can say what you want about the Chargers, but they're still a good. They're
the fourth ranked defense in the league.
Yeah.
I think Cowboys match up well with them because they're a run-heavy team.
But if
wide receivers love dropping balls. Like,
we'll see. But let's just say it's one hard game. The Eagles have the harder game. All right. Besides that, the rest of the way I think it's fairly equal. You still need the most ideal situation, which is Eagles go at worst 2-2, and you have to win all your games. If you even drop one of them or the Eagles turn it around, you are pigeonholed into this 10% window, which is, I guess, possible. Like, the Chiefs can still make it technically. With the Chargers winning last night, that got a lot harder. It's like you have to be perfect, and I knew if you dropped the Lions game, it would get even harder, and you dropped the Lions game. Had you won the Lions game, totally different conversation we're having right now.
Yeah, and I will say I'm looking for the silver lining here, and maybe that's the Dallas Cowboys fan of me because I always have to. But I will say, going into the last 3-week stretch, the fact that we're sitting on the other side of it 2-1, I do feel I'm proud of this team. I'm proud of the team for going into.
Yeah, you should be.
That's fair.
Even if they end
stretch.
Tough 3 games,
dude. Even if they end 6 and like they don't win another game, you should be proud of this team. That was like nobody expected this from them.
No, and so
not after the start. No.
No.
So here's where I'll put this. It's 2 versus 1 here. You both think the Cowboys aren't gonna make the playoffs here.
Just because of the math, yeah.
Yeah. So, I'll position you this. Freddy and I have an existing bet. So, this I will lobby to both of you. And it's 2 versus 1, so I'll take the the negative odds on this one. If the Cowboys miss the playoffs, I will go do a comparable thing to what Freddy is doing this Saturday. I know we keep saying it's coming up. It officially is this Saturday at 1 o'clock.
Nice. Okay. Nice.
I will go do a comparable thing to what Freddy is doing, but instead of, and this is the key, I will. So Freddy has to go for an hour. For those of you that don't know, I will go to Times Square for an unlimited amount of time and have to convince 10 people. Okay, 10 people that the team of your choice. It can be the Eagles. It can be the Packers, or it can be the Browns. It can be whatever team. The team of your choice, I have to convince people and have them agree with me that they are the best team in the NFL. If the Cowboys lose the division, I will do that.
You're that confident?
But if the Cowboys win the division, both of you have to go out and convince 25 people between the two of you
Okay.
that the Dallas Cowboys are the best team in the NFL. I will put that bet out there right now. You can decide to say yes or no now, or you can we can wait till the end of the episode and you can ruminate. But
What if it was 20? What if it was 20 people?
Yeah, okay, we'll say 20. Yeah.
10 each.
It'll be the even split.
That's
you
done.
know,
I'm
I'll
done.
do 10, you do 20.
I
down.
accept.
I accept.
Okay, there
I
we
accept
go.
that.
There we have something we're looking at the end of the season here. There we go.
Dang, you're that confident?
I'm that confident. I feel like the Cowboys will win this division.
All right. Well, Cowboys play the Vikings next. It is a 1 p.m. game, I'm pretty sure. Or is it 4:25? It's one of them.
It's
one.
not an impactful game.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna be playing the Vikings there. We'll see how they do. We're moving on now to Colts and Chargers. Interesting game. A little heartbreaking for Mr. Daniel Jones there. Listen.
So
man.
sorry, it is a Sunday night game for some
Oh,
reason.
it's Sunday night.
Sunday night.
For some reason. Sorry, I
That's
was like, oh wait,
ridiculous.
I should probably correct that.
Okay. I guess
could-
yeah. We'll see Cowboys Vikings on Sunday Night Football.
That's
That's
weird.
crazy.
Yeah, anyway, Colts at Jaguars. We got Daniel Jones out for the season. They signed Phillip Rivers. Josh, is that division done for the Colts?
Yeah. The Colts aren't going to be able to. I don't know if they'll win another game this season. They're completely collapsed. I mean, look, who are they playing? They're playing the Seahawks, the Jags again, the Texans, and I think the 49ers. I don't know if that's the correct order, but like they're done. I don't think they win another game this season. It's just Daniel Jones injury. They had a hot start, and then they just completely fell off after that Chiefs game. Even a little bit before they were like, fluttering, but that Chiefs game really like ended their season in my opinion. It was a good run. Jonathan Taylor had a great first half of the season, but yeah, it's over for them.
I will say, I put in my notes R.I.P. Indianapolis Colts, and I had that whole prepped. But anyway, so let's pause. But as I look at their schedule, yeah, it's super tough. But if the Jaguars and the Texans don't find a way to run away, the Colts do end the season at home against the Jaguars and then on the road against the Texans. I mean, those last two games could be extremely impactful for the division. They are lucky in the fact that they're playing the two teams that they're competing with, and so they can make solid ground on it. All that being said, I do think, that's it. This season was very important for the Indianapolis Colts, and the reason why I say that is Shane Steichen's going to keep his job. Going into this year, that was a genuine question. People were wondering, oh, is he done? Is this why he's going with Daniel Jones? Similar to kind of Dable going with Russell Wilson. Like, is he trying to just win a couple of games so that way he can do it? No, he went with Daniel Jones because he was the better option. And genuinely, he may have saved his job this year, which is great. I think he's a great coach. I think there's a vision. But Freddy, you and I talked about this, and we talked about this a little bit earlier today. Sauce Gardner, that trade is looking abysmal right now. When that trade, our little trade deadline episode happened, you and I discussed how that could be crazy because the Colts could be terrible next year. They could, go 3-14, and they still can, right? If Daniel Jones either doesn't come back at all.
Well, it's an Achilles tear, so I don't know. He's not going to be back for like at least mid-season, and that's being generous.
And that's if they re-sign him, because they got to look at getting another quarterback, because he is a free agent.
Yeah, trading away those first was tough, especially with the quarterback class next year. It's decent. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But you're not getting one of those now. So
And now you're sitting there and you're looking like this team should be good, and I do think they're going to be decent again next year. But you're really, you went all in and we called it. We said this trade was too much. And little did we know that this year was going to be an impactful year for it too. They could, if they miss playoffs, that's a top 16 pick.
Yeah, and I do respect them for going all in. At the time, they were doing well, and they were like, do you know what, Daniel Jones can be our guy. It was a risky move, and it really just didn't work out for them. They do benefit from one thing, which is that division any given year. Jags, Texans, who's competing? They could, even this year. Technically, you pointed it out. So, but it's looking pretty bleak.
I am excited for Phillip Rivers though. That's gonna be fun.
I am too. I really want to see Phillip Rivers. It's looking really really bleak for our Colts fans here, which is kind of sad because it looked so promising to start the year, and you had such a good season compared to last year and the year before. And yeah, like Brayden said, Steichen, I love Shane Steichen. He was the offensive coordinator to me that really got Jalen Hurts and really made him look good. And I think that he's like a quarterback whisperer. Like he can he made Minshew good for a little bit too. And he could take any quarterback and really put them into his system and they'll be great. Like we want to talk Kevin O'Connell. No, Steichen is the quarterback guy. And so selfishly, part of me wants him to get fired so he comes back. That's not going to happen. He'll probably be there for at least next year. If that year goes bad, then he'll probably be gone, go back to offensive coordinator. But yeah, I mean, it's heartbreaking. It's genuinely heartbreaking for the Colts. And on the contrary, you cannot feel happier if you are a Jaguars fan right now, man.
Dude, Liam Cohen is a genius, man.
Amazing head coach.
Oh, yeah.
He should win Coach of the Year. He has been...
You got Vrabel. It's going to be Vrabel.
Man,
yeah, it's going to be Vrabel.
It's going to be Vrabel. But he should be up there. Yeah.
Yeah, he should be up there. He has been outstanding taking this team. Everybody thought that Trevor Lawrence was not a great quarterback. And people still think that he's, like, good, but not great. And you know what? That team doesn't need him to be. Their defense is so good, and he makes the plays that are asked of him, and that's what they need. And he's been playing not sloppy. He's been playing good enough football to win them games. And the Jags
good
could
game
seriously,
on
yeah,
Sunday.
he played a good game.
Yeah.
A really good one. And the Jags could seriously be a threat this year in this wide open AFC that probably won't have Baltimore, Kansas City, or Cincinnati in it, where Buffalo seems to be your only experienced team that you're going to be going against. I mean, this is the biggest window we've seen in the AFC ever. This could be huge. This could genuinely be huge for the Jags, and I really couldn't feel happier for that team, that fan base.
Yeah, it's big for the Jags. I'll say this, though, just bouncing off that point, like, if the Bills don't get to the Super Bowl this year,
they won't
if this is how it stands,
yeah,
I mean, it would be the most disappointing thing that can happen for a Bills fan in that franchise. You're saying no Patrick Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow, and you still couldn't do it?
Yeah.
Like, all these teams have been great. The Patriots have been great. The Broncos have been solid. Jags are looking nice and feisty, but you are the most experienced team with Josh Allen. This is the year you make it.
I mean, the issue is they may have to do that entire run on the road.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's like you have Josh Allen, and you are competing with no other quarterbacks that have experienced what he's experienced. And
oh yeah,
I'm just saying, like, if it isn't this year, like, there's really no excuses. You just like you fucked up. Oh, my bad.
Wow, getting demonetized. Look,
My bad. I speaking from the heart here. My bad.
Well, here's what I'll say. You're talking back on the Jaguars real quick. You're talking about the Steichen being a quarterback whisperer. Liam Cohen's a running back whisperer, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw what he
ETN.
did last year. Yeah, you saw what he did last year with the Buccaneers, and now ETN is just going off. He's back from the dead. You have even, like, I know he didn't have a great game this last week, but Bayshaw Tootin is having some great weeks. You're even having guys like LaQuint Allen like come in there and actually look usable, right? And like, granted, right? And my thing is, like, it feels like this is going to be long-standing because you have, Sean Tucker was able to do it this year again in Tampa Bay, right? Like, he's a great coach long-term for these guys. Or I will say is my one issue or my one worry, and they solved it a little bit with Jacoby Myers, I'm a little worried about what is going on with those pass catchers. Granted, BTJ had a wonderful 87 yards this week. Granted, he only had it on 3 catches. I think at this point where he's turning into Jameson Williams, and honestly, if that's his ceiling, then that's fine.
That's a fine ceiling.
He looked so terrible at the beginning of this year, and he looked so good last year. It's a little bit disappointing after how good he looked last year, but if that's his ceiling, that's fine. But I'm a little worried about when they face a team like the Broncos that have a phenomenal defense, can they hold up? Against that pass defense, because when you're down 10 points, are you going to be able to run the ball as much as they can?
Yeah. No, that's a.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
We got to see how they're able to bring it out. Jags' next game is against the Jets. Should be a very, very fun game to watch. And then the Colts play the Seahawks. So that'll be interesting to see. It's really looking like the Jags are going to take that division. The Texans, though, as well, looking pretty good.
I was going to say, who do you have winning that division, man?
Probably the Texans. They look like, honestly, the team no one wants to play in the AFC.
Yeah, I think the Texans could win the Super Bowl.
That defense just looks so terrifying.
Yeah.
And you know, honestly, like this might segue into the Chiefs Texans talk, but like they literally, their defense looks like akin to the Broncos defense. And the difference is CJ Stroud has a little bit more tread on the tires than Bo Nix does. I don't think that offense looks a little like iffy sometimes, but Woody Marks has some crazy fight, dude. Like I'm a big believer. I've been a big believer. I mean, you guys know this all year. I've been championing Woody Marks, but man, like he's falling forward. He looks like a bowling ball out there. He looks tough, and that offense, like if they can click, that team is scary. My issue is I don't know if they can click, especially you're talking about the Bills. I don't know if they can click against a team like the Bills, right? If Josh Allen, again, they already beat them this year, and they are going to have to do that exact thing again. That pass rush is going to have to get to him and get to him hard.
And they know they can. That's the crazy thing is like they know that they can beat Josh Allen. They know they could beat Patrick Mahomes. They made both those guys look like civilians. And we'll segue right into Texans and Chiefs. The Texans are so cool because they do not need their offense at all. Like that is one team where the defense is so good that the offense could just do nothing all game and they'll probably still win.
Don't they kind of feel like the AFC Seahawks? Like
a little bit.
Yeah.
They also remind me of the Broncos with Peyton Manning in his Super Bowl year when he went there and he was just terrible.
When his arm and neck weren't connected.
Yeah. And he just was the worst quarterback in the league, and it didn't matter because that defense was just so unreal. They are so good. The Texans are just on all, and it's crazy because they started 2-5 or something, and now they just haven't lost a game. And Stroud, credit to him, he hasn't been playing great, but he hasn't been losing them the game. Nothing he's done has lost them the game. He's been being smart with the football, and he had a bad second half, but it didn't matter. It did not matter. And I kind of want to talk about the Chiefs here because now we're getting to a scenario where it's very likely the Chiefs are not getting in the playoffs at 10-7. And I think that we got to put a little bit of blame here on Andy Reid. That play call on 4th down lost you the game.
Abysmal.
Straight up, you lost them the game.
You didn't even have to. If you took the points, right, at that when they could have, or was it a missed field goal?
I thought you were talking about the one. I mean,
no, when he went for it, when he was on his own 20,
their own territory,
and they were tied. They were
tied. I feel like. Yeah, no, I know. I think if they were up 13-10, I can't remember if it was a missed field goal or they chose not to kick it. Whatever it was, they could have been up 13-10 at one point.
That's also proof that was bad coaching, considering there were multiple occasions.
Well, no, exactly.
Yeah.
So you don't feel inclined to have to take that shot if you are just taking your points where you are. I mean, it's just like I said this. The Chiefs are frauds. I've been saying it for weeks. Like drop balls, missed opportunities, bad coaching calls.
Bad quarterback play too.
And I'm going to give Patrick Mahomes a little bit of some credit here because he did look like he was really trying to bring the Chiefs back. I mean, he was trying.
Yeah.
Drop balls all over the place. And so it's just like for some reason this team just doesn't know how to win in the big moments like they did last year or any of the years before. Last year, they weren't blowing anyone out offensively, but they could win when they needed to. They could step up when they needed to. They knew how to champion a moment. And for some reason, that exact same team can't do that this year, and I just don't know why.
The Chiefs and the Eagles are kind of the same team right now, and I'm like that's not good.
Yeah,
for either.
I mean, I literally, once again, like they're done. They're done.
Sued by My Chemical Romance.
I hate to say it. I hate to say it. This game, so I was watching this game. It pissed me off. Like I genuinely got upset because, and granted, I'm not sitting here championing saying that I hope the Chiefs win or whatever, but watching that game, my little thing is I kind of feel for Pat a little bit here. Because, oh my gosh, he was getting just thrown around out there, and he was fighting for it. Again, I won't say, the one thing I'll say, I don't think this is on the quarterback.
No, it's not on him, but
they could not catch the ball for their life. It ticked me off. Like, how is it that the Chiefs don't have any wide receivers, man? Like, first, the coaching was terrible, but also, Worthy's supposed to be a good guy. Everyone keeps telling me that Rashee Rice is the answer. Travis Kelce is supposed to, though he doesn't have
It's
speed,
week to week with them.
he should have hands.
Kelsey's responsible for 2 interceptions that he's bobbled and put into the defender's hands. He did it in week 2 against Philly, and then he just did it in a must-have situation with the Texans. And it was like...
It looked like they had gone out and taken wide receiver lessons from Kadarius Toney. Like, it was so bad.
They should bring him back.
Yeah, they might as well, because that's him. Yeah, like, that was just him out there. They were all doing Kadarius Toney impersonations, man. I was genuinely so upset watching it, because also it did feel like the game was kind of cheapened out because of it, right? We missed out on a version of a shootout at the end of the game there, because literally their receivers, we weren't even not helping Patrick Mahomes, they were hurting him. They were genuinely putting the ball right into danger. It ticked me off. It was abysmal. It genuinely, and granted, I'll give credit to more than just Pat. Kareem Hunt is actually weirdly looking like, he doesn't look fast, but he's fighting. And so it's like, those two guys, it felt like they were the only ones actually interested in winning. This team needs an overhaul, and it needs it bad. It's not even to the fact where I think that they can sit there and go get a guy like Tyreek Hill, because he's not necessarily known for his locker room presence, right? I think you need a leader in that locker room. Similar, actually, exactly what you said, like the Eagles. Like, I think you need a guy that can go in there and really secure them.
They need a positivity bunny.
They need...
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that worked, right? They need something that can go in there. I don't know whether that's a running back. We'll actually go back to the Eagles there, right? You look at last year when they brought in Saquon, what that did to the team. When you have a team leader that can come in and really energize a team. So I think they need to do that, and it can't be a draft pick. It's not a first-round receiver. It's not a first-round running back. It is a guy, a veteran, that they need to bring in and really pull that team together. I don't know who it is.
I don't know. I think they just need a restart on the season, frankly. It's just like, it's not going their way this year. It's fine. You're allowed to have down years. I'm going to win $20 because of it, but when you have the same, I have a bet with a Chiefs fan who is absolutely in denial right now, but when you have the same record as the Dolphins, pack it up. It's over.
Yeah,
by the way, how about Mike McDaniel, man? He saved his job.
He saved his job.
Did he really? Is he gonna not? Oh yeah, he won't get fired after this.
No, not after this.
Anyway,
don't do that.
No, I want to also continue about the Chiefs, is that what this is proving to us here is that your quarterback needs help. Like,
yes.
You can't... There is no quarterback that can win with no one.
Yep.
You could put anybody into that Chiefs team right now, and I guarantee that they're worse, but they're still not making the playoffs. Like, you cannot do anything if you do not have pieces around you. When Kareem Hunt is your best offensive player other than the quarterback, there's an issue with that team. And it's the same thing with Buffalo here. Granted, I think that Buffalo is a little bit different because I don't think their wide receivers are as incompetent as the Chiefs' wide receivers are. But...
And their running back's better.
Their running back is a good running back. Like, when you have nothing on that team except Mahomes, and you're like, oh, that's all we need, you're losing. Like, Mahomes needs people. Everybody needs people around him. And that's okay. And I think coaches, I hope coaches know that. I think most of them do. But I just think that should be a thing. No team can carry, no quarterback can single-handedly alone win a Super Bowl, get your team there. It just can't happen.
So I have
If
a
anyone,
question.
sorry, go ahead.
No,
Brayden.
no, go for it.
Well, I was gonna just say if anyone could, it's Patrick Mahomes, but it really is like when he's your leading rusher, it's the lack of the run game. It's that defense that's getting older, and Chris Jones actually had a really good game against the Texans, one of his best to be honest this year. But it's just like, yeah, it's they can't do anything on the ground, man. They can't do anything.
So I mean, and to our credit, right? We're talking about how the Texans offense can't really do much, but they don't need to.
Yeah.
They are, they're a little quarterback proof. We saw Davis Mills went in there and looked good too, right? And I think that's a key thing to what you're going for. Josh, you're talking about the Bills, and I'm a little worried about them for the reason that Freddy just brought up. Because I do think if they get into a game and you're relying on the hands of Keon Coleman, it might be a little bit scary. But I sit there and I look at a team like the Texans that invested. Everyone kind of clowned them this year, right? They went Jaden Higgins in the second round. They went Jalen Noel in the third round. And then in the fourth round, they traded a third round this year to go get Woody Marks, right? So it's like they invested heavily in that offense. Mm-hmm. And granted, they don't even need it. But in those moments, maybe that's helping you get that first down. I was going to play a little game with you guys and sit there and see. And this conversation went exactly where I kind of thought and hoped it would go. I'm going to play a little game. You tell me what weapons you'd rather have. So We're not talking quarterback. We're not talking offensive line. We are talking just straight up running back, wide receiver, tight ends. Okay? So would you rather have Chiefs or the Texans?
That's really hard because you're talking talent, but
we're not talking quarterback.
I know. I'd still think Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy and Travis Kelce. I think okay, maybe that's really hard. Maybe the Texans.
The Texans.
All right, because I think Nico Collins is probably better than Rashee Rice.
I'd say that's where it's equal, but the rest of the way it's probably pretty fit. It leads Texans. So especially on the ground.
Okay, so we'll say Texans. Okay, Texans. So what about Chiefs versus Buffalo?
James Cook really helps the Bills. I think I'd take Buffalo.
Okay, now here's the one that because also you can sit there and you say Chiefs versus Dolphins. I'd have the Dolphins.
Yeah, Waddle, A-Chain, yeah.
Right, and granted, again, we're talking about teams with identical records there, which is wild. To put it a little into Patrick Mahomes' credit and Andy Reid's credit a little bit, right? They're in identical records. But the biggest one, and this is where I'm actually genuinely to almost play counterpoint to you need to get a quarterback some help, the New England Patriots or the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I'd probably look. I think it's the Chiefs for me. Go ahead, Freddie.
This one's tough because it comes down to also their opponents, and I know that this is unfair to hold against the Patriots, but I think I would take the Chiefs over the Patriots just because of the namesake on them. Not to say the fact that the Patriots have bad players, but I think that the Patriots players are looking a little better because of the schedule.
So
and the coaching. And the coaching and the quarterback
too.
Play and the coaching has just been way better. And that defense is better.
So then I will ask, if a quarterback needs help, how are we getting the season that Drake May is getting? That's kind of where I sit there and I go, okay, you need to give your quarterback as much help as you can, but also the Patriots are, their schedule's been a little bit easier, but that hasn't stopped them from scoring more points than the Chiefs by almost 40.
That's fair. I think as soon as they get into the playoffs, they are losing the first game they play.
They're undefeated on the road too, of course. That's where I'm saying there are significant moments though that we're looking at a team that doesn't really have that many weapons. The Chiefs, I agree with you, Josh, need to do a nice. They just need the season to start over.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, at some point we gotta look and say, okay, that's where I sit there and I say you need some leadership, you need some buy-in, because there is. With the Patriots, they have no better weapons, and yet they have a much better record. And I'd hold the same thing with the Broncos. They have no better weapons, but they have a much better record. And granted, that one's due to the defense. But I sit there, considering they've scored less points than the Chiefs and they're, atop that division. But I sit there and I go, you need a leader to come in You need a person to come in and invigorate that locker room and get them bought in, because I think that's honestly what's kind of been going for the Patriots, is that they've had people, again, everyone can talk about how bad of a locker room guy Stephon Diggs is, but every time he enters a locker room for that first year, they have a better team. It happened with the Bills. It happened with the Texans. It happened here.
Yeah, it's just like they need the season to start over because it's record and it's the mental game. It's morale in the locker room. When you're 6-7 and you can't stop smiling like that, Brayden. When you can't seem to turn it around, you're just going into every game a little more worried, a little more desperate. You're prone to make more mistakes. You're gonna get more emotional, right? So if you just make the Chiefs 8-5, I bet they could potentially win out. Some things haven't gone their way, but hey, we're still in this. We can still do this. They could get to a Super Bowl. They're just a little mentally weak right now, and that's why I think they just need a reset button.
Yeah, I think they need a leader. Yeah, I think we're all on the same page there.
Yeah. Chris Jones is not enough to lead this team right now. But Chiefs get the Chargers next week. Who do we got?
Chiefs Chargers. Is it in Arrowhead?
It's in Arrowhead.
I might take the Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes might be able to step up against that kind of team, and then we'll have people saying how it's interesting and the Chiefs still might make it. I still think they missed the playoffs. I just don't think that they can get there, but I might take the Chiefs in that spot.
I'll take Chargers 13-10. I'll reverse course on everything I've been saying so far on the pod in the last 2 months. I think this is the first time I've said, besides the Cowboys game, that the Chiefs would lose. But yeah, Chargers 13-10. It'll be a low-scoring game.
I'll also take the Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to probably beat the Chiefs.
That's crazy. How am I taking Chiefs and I'm the one who's been calling them frauds for weeks?
We also got on the other side Cardinals, Texans. We all know who's going to win that, so we don't even have to say.
Kobe Brissett.
Cardinals
are taking that one to the bank.
By the way, dude, Brissett has totally gotten himself a contract somewhere, dude.
I mean, he should be their next guy for the season. Don't draft a quarterback. Keep Brissett.
Well, it might be a draft and develop kind of situation. Draft and sit.
You can do that too. You can do that.
That's not a bad idea with Brissett.
No, yeah. You could do that.
I don't know how many open spots are going to be available for Brissett necessarily that won't want to draft a guy.
He just kind of feels like, similar to what the Texans did with Davis Mills back in the day, which is almost actually sit there and go, we're going to do 1 year where we don't draft a quarterback. Just run it out there. Because also you never know, right? He could be fully Geno Smithing it. And granted, Geno Smith leaves a bad taste in our mouth now, but when he was with Seattle, it was, he came out of nowhere and then, everyone wrote him off. And
he is now written back.
Now he's finally did. But I do think he's earned himself a new contract because he's looking good. I don't know what your flotilla is going to say today, but I think he's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
For that team, at least.
Yeah, we shall see. Time to move on to Bears at Packers. This was a big game. This was a huge one, and Brayden is now gone. But it was a huge one in here in Lambeau Field. Two big teams. Two of them that I think have kind of proven that they're both big threats. And I know Josh was sweating down till that final play.
I wasn't worried for a second, Freddy.
Listen, man, I gotta
ask your question.
Are you guys the kings of the North?
We're the kings of the North. We always have been, and we always will be. This is the Packers division. We are the kings of the North. It's not anyone else's division. I don't care that the Lions have won it the past couple of years. The Packers have dominated this division for decades. It's ours. It's still ours, and we own this. Right. We own the Bears, too. They are 52-16 against us since 1992. Win a game.
52-16 is
really bad. It's crazy. Anyway, no.
I don't know how that's a rivalry.
We look amazing, all right? And Jordan Love had a great game, and it was a tale of two halves because the first half we looked completely dominant, and in the second half the Bears were able to sustain these really long 17-play drives. But when Jordan Love needed to clutch up, it was 21-21. He drove down the field with Josh Jacobs, who made a phenomenal play on that third down. Got 8 yards when he all those Bears defenders just missed him completely. He was the reason, honestly, we probably got that touchdown and we were able to get up 28-21. But our offense looked good, and our defense, when they didn't have to play on the field for 8 minutes, 9 minutes, I mean, it was ridiculous. They still looked good, and we were able to clutch up in the end because we got that interception to seal the game late. And Caleb, he looked really, really bad in the first half, and he looked decent in the second half. But, I mean, I was just so happy and so impressed. And, yeah, this is the first time the Bears have been competitive basically in my life, and we still came out on top.
2018, they were.
Oh, you're
Mitch
forgetting.
Trubisky.
Yeah, you're forgetting Jay Cutler, man. Don't forget.
No, dude. I mean, it was just, look, Christian Watson being back and healthy the way he's been playing. He's really starting to establish himself. Jaden Reed coming back. One of our coordinators said it just opens up the playbook even more. They couldn't run certain things because we've just been missing that kind of element. And I just want to say, I know that when you are one of the best defensive ends in the league, you're going to get held. I know what the league is. Everyone's saying you get held. It was egregious. I mean, it was so bad against these Bears. I mean, you could not look at Micah Parsons during the game without him on the ground being held. You got to call some of it. Because the only
welcome to December, Micah Parsons, man.
No,
I've
it was
been
just
with this
so
for years.
bad. I mean, the refs have to call some of that. The Bears were able to stay in it because they just couldn't. You're going to hold him because he's just that good.
Yep.
It was just, those drives were being sustained because they were just getting away with the worst things. And some of those things, Keyshawn Nixon should have had an interception way earlier. I mean, it was an impressive catch, but I think it was Duvernay. That was ridiculous, but it went through his hands. Regardless, we came out on top. We run that division, and Jordan Love has looked great. He had one really bad interception to start the game. I was fine with it because he played the rest of the way phenomenal, and our defense was able to get it back. I'm cool with an interception early. Caleb was the reason that they lost with that late interception. That I've been there with Jordan Love. It's happened on my end. I get it.
You got to get your government mandated Jordan Love interception out of the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I could see Brayden plotting while you were speaking that whole time.
Look. Here's what I'll say to start off, though. Hearing a Packers fan complain about Micah Parsons getting held and not getting called is the same thing as hearing a Lakers fan complain that Luka's getting hacked. I'm like, dude, it's been happening. Like that's just what it is. That's how life is. Welcome to the club. Hi, Katie.
Yeah, I was gonna say my cat's joining.
I love it. Yeah. Don't worry, that happened last week. So here's what I'll say. Look, the defense is awesome, and really good. I will say that the Packers are proving me wrong time and time again, and they're saying that they can win close games. And genuinely, again, so I won't change my tune on the fact that I do think LaFleur is one of the best coaches in the league. I've been saying that, and I think that's going to be something that's going to be clutch for you guys going into the playoffs. I do think if the Bears have a doomsday in this game, it's a little bit different.
Maybe a little. Ben Johnson was able to adjust really well at halftime.
And kudos to the Bears, man, because like Luther Burden was their leading receiver, and that is a second-round wide receiver, right? Like look at a second-round rookie wide receiver. Look at all the other rookie wide receivers this year that were drafted in the second round. They're not doing anything right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so the fact that like that's your best wide receiver. First of all, DJ Moore's off that team. Like next year, maybe that's the guy that's going to the Chiefs. And then kind of reviving his career, or
Ben
going
Johnson
to one of these teams.
Hates him, man.
Oh yeah, and he hates Ben Johnson. He hates Caleb Williams. He's done. Like he was his best season was with Justin Fields, and like that's it. What I will say, I am changing my tune a little bit on the Packers.
I'm glad.
I will say, I'm late. Better late than never. I will say that you are going to cause some issues. I still think once you're in the playoffs, if you're up against a team like the Rams, or you're up against one of these dominant defensive teams,
or the Eagles,
or so anyways, one of these dominant defensive teams, I think it's going to start causing some issues. But
they might all have to come to Lambeau, though.
Yes, but I will say, against a team that is offensively heavy, like the Bears, like the let's think of another one off the top of my head. I mean, like the Cowboys, right? If you guys played the Cowboys again, I actually think you probably win that game.
So do I.
And or even right, let's go for like the Lions. I think if you're playing an offensively heavy team that doesn't have a dominant defense, you're gonna win that matchup.
Yeah.
I would say when you face that dominant defense, though, Jordan Love will turn back into Jordan Love.
Dude, he really has just been playing so well this year. I mean, like, I know he gets really hot at the end of the year, which is, if I want my quarterback to get hot at any time of the year, it's now, for the record.
Yeah.
So I don't care if he's okay to start the season and then great. This is when you want him to be great. And I know he's had his playoff struggles, but he has looked great. Those like fadeaway passes, he can just launch down the field off his back foot. I mean, they're beautiful. I mean, I'm genuinely impressed. I've never had a worse take than my Jordan Love take years ago. I'm so happy he's our quarterback. I really believe in him. I believe in this team. The ceiling is Super Bowl for us. We really should get there. But I agree, defenses look worse, but we're setting ourselves up to potentially be the 1 seed and host the playoffs the rest of the way. I don't want to play the Lions a third time. I think it's really hard to beat a team 3 times in the year. I wouldn't want to play the Bears either if we played in Chicago and we won that game. I do think, though, Lions-Bears, Week 18, that's going to be the 7 seed, and they might potentially have to come to Lambeau again.
I think even like the 49ers, I feel like are a little bit scary. Or I would say a team that has a good defense, like that whole division, Seahawks, 49ers, Rams. I think any team out of that you don't want to face in the playoffs, just because
that's like all the teams in the playoffs.
I know. There you go. But that's where I'll say, like, it's going to spell some trouble, in my opinion, just because we talk about those aging running backs. Josh Jacobs is looking good, but he is looking a little bit slower.
A little slower.
Yeah, and so I think that, like, if you get down, I wish we could put, like, Jordan Love and Sam Darnold in a blender and have Sam Darnold's front half of his seasons and Jordan Love's back half of his seasons and just, like, put them together, because, like, they always kind of yin and yang there. But I am turning around on them a little bit. I think your saving grace will be your defense. And if you don't have to, and then we'll get to this in the Eagles game, if you don't have to rely on the arm of your quarterback, you are going to be set in the way that, like, yeah, he can make the plays to win, but if you're not relying on him to win, you're going to be good.
Even better.
And I'm just going to say one more thing before I let you go, Freddie. I just think right now also the vibes is spent all week. I had to hear from Bears fans. We're the 1 seed. We're not scared of you guys. We can go to Lambeau. I heard it all week from Bears fans. And they have a good team now. I mean, it really is the most competitive I have felt this rivalry be in my entire life. And I do think in 2 weeks, we might lose that game. That's completely possible. It's on the table. I'm not saying these are the same old Bears, but the vibes of this team are high. We're confident. We're peaking at the right time. We're getting healthy at the right time too. So I just think this might set ourselves up to have, like, trading for Micah might be the right call, especially if we can get there this year. Go, Freddie.
Yeah. The Packers look great. I still think the Rams are probably getting that 1 seed. I don't see the Rams losing another game till the end of the year. Even with the Seahawks, I don't think they're splitting. I think that's a sweep. The Packers look good, man. They look really good. I picked them to beat the Bears this week in a blowout. It wasn't a blowout, but it probably felt like it was. Again, on that last Caleb drive, there was something going on where I was like, he's not gonna do anything with this. And, you know, if you're Ben Johnson, you got to start learning to keep your mouth shut.
That handshake was great.
What did he say? He was like, oh, no, I get to beat
he said, I love
LaFleur.
playing Matt LaFleur. I get to beat him twice a year. All right. Come to Lambeau, and we'll see what happens.
God.
But it just...
Did he handshake him?
Yeah, I mean, of course, they had a handshake, but it was quick. They didn't even look at each other. They didn't speak. But
yeah, he was probably pissed.
They had never spoken in their lives, and Ben Johnson was like, oh, I know this is a rivalry, so I got to add some fuel here. And he's a good coach. You didn't need to say that.
Yeah, he has to. Ben Johnson has had a great season. He has completely turned that Bears team around. he needs to learn to be more humble, or else, stuff like this is going to be more common for him.
Good, better, best, man. Good, better, best.
Good, better, best. Yeah, no, it was a great game for the Packers. The Packers are Super Bowl or bust, obviously. If they don't win it this year, if they're like a first round, second round NFC Championship exit, failure of a season for them. I do not see this as anything other than that.
I think if we get there
to win,
it's a success.
Yeah. If you get there and lose, that was a good season. I'm not going to call like any team that gets to the Super Bowl, unless it's Buffalo and loses, this is a success.
Yeah, if they get the conference, like go to the conference title this year, I think it's a median, right? Because then you can sit there and say next year we're going to go to the Super Bowl.
No, I disagree.
But if they don't hit the Super Bowl, I think in your 2 first round pick years that you have with Micah, if you don't hit the Super Bowl in either of those years, at least go. Yeah, it's a loss.
Yeah.
I think that
championship, no. Yeah.
No, I think that we are one of the best teams in the NFL right now, especially in the NFC, which is the more competitive division in my opinion. And I just think that I think the Super Bowl is where we should be going. I am not going to say that our window though is closed if it's not this year or even next year. We have a good team. We're young. We're still one of the youngest rosters. We might be still the youngest roster in football. I think we still are. We know how to develop players. We know how to draft players. We know how to get good players for trades. We have a franchise quarterback, and that helps everything. And I think that the window's open. We need to start competing, and I think that we're just, first couple years of Jordan Love, we looked really good and really off sometimes. This year, I think our team is dominant, and we've had some weird losses, some really weird losses that have gotten away from us. But when we play good teams, we step up. And luckily, in the playoffs, it's only good teams.
I will say the outer division schedule for each of y'all, Packers, Bears, Lions, it's looking tough, like to end this season, because y'all get the Broncos this week, which
Broncos, Ravens, yeah.
Yeah, no cakewalk. Yeah, you get Broncos, Ravens in the rest of your
Ravens at Lambeau. I'm not super worried, to be honest with you now.
I
used to be, and then I saw this week.
If the Ravens are fighting, if the Ravens can come back and start having some fight, like they will need to win that game.
Agreed. I just think we are that much
But the
better.
Packers also need to win, because if they drop one and then they're going to Chicago to play the Bears, that's tough.
Yeah.
They might be looking at another 7th seed, and they don't want that.
Well, you got the Bears playing the 49ers. I mean, the Bears they got Browns this week that they should have in the bag.
That should be a win for them, yeah.
But then they go Packers, 49ers, and then Lions.
And I think that game is for the 7th seed.
Yeah, I mean, because then you got Lions who play the Steelers, the Rams this week. Got, like Lions-Rams is going to be crazy. And so, yeah, I just think it's going to be, obviously, you're undefeated in your division. That's amazing. It's going to be outside of division record, genuinely. Yeah. Like, it's going to be how you do in these last 4 weeks, because that tie might come back to haunt you.
But our NFC record is really good compared to the Bears.
Oh, yeah, but you have no tiebreaker. That's what I'm saying. That tie might come back to haunt you because you have no tiebreaker, because your records will not be lined up.
Sure.
Yeah,
I think to end the season, Lions, Bears, Broncos, Bears, that's a pretty tough call. I think this Broncos game is probably the hardest one left on the schedule. I believe in us still. I think we can win this game. And it's on the road. It's not going to be easy. But if we can win this game, I'm going to feel a lot better if we lose in Soldier Field in 2 weeks. If we lose to the Broncos, I'm going to really obviously... I want to beat the Bears anyway because I love beating the Bears, but it really depends. I still believe in us. I still believe in our ability to fight for the 1 seed, win this division. I'm not concerned. Sorry, my cat's freaking out right now. But, yeah, this game showed a lot to me. I thought we had a lot of fight, a lot of grit, and I was just really impressed, to be honest with you. If it wasn't for the second half long drives where we just couldn't get off the field, I do think it's just a blowout. The Bears adjusted well. They were able to sustain those drives, but I'm very happy with how we're competing right now.
Yeah. You should be. You guys are great. Going on to the team that isn't so great. This is our last team topic that we are talking about today, was the Eagles at Chargers last night. One of, if not the worst Eagles game I have seen from the offense ever. And it was the worst quarterback performance from an Eagles quarterback since Michael Vick, when he did the same thing and threw 4 interceptions. It was as bad of a game that I've ever seen. Thanks, Brayden. I hope they sue us. I hope they sue us and you have to pay all of it. Honestly, My Chemical Romance, please sue us right now so he has to pay you a settlement. It was terrible, man. Yeah, I don't even know where to start.
This is your topic, dude. I feel like you got to start.
It's the Chargers. Listen, I know they're the number 4 defense, but that was the most winnable game I've ever watched the Eagles play, and they snatched defeat from the jaws of victory in every way they tried to do. They did it. And we lost in front of all of Monstropolis watching the entire time.
Dude, Sully had a pick 6.
Sully picked us off 4 times in his NFL debut. Like, that was terrible. And I want to talk. I have a few things that I want to talk about here. I'm going to start with the quarterback. Jalen Hurts has had a good start to the season. Pre-bye week, he was great. And since the bye week, he has been mid to just bad. And it's been since then. And something changed during that bye week where someone started getting more targets, and the game plan is completely shifted into something else now. When we played against the Packers and we played against the Lions, the Packers game, I was like, okay, you know what? Both quarterbacks aren't playing well. They're both playing against 2 great defenses. This is obviously a defensive shootout, and that's all it is. I'm fine with this. When it came to the Lions game, I was kind of like, okay, this is odd that he only had 50% completion given the Lions' kind of current defensive situation, but I'm chalking it up to the wind. The wind wasn't great. During the Dallas game, the first half, he's playing outstanding. He's back. This is great. The second half, he was doing what was being asked of him, but we couldn't come up with it. Too many errors were being made. During the Bears game, he was bad. That's the reason we lost that game. A fumble and an interception lost us the game. The interception didn't because they didn't score on it, but the fumble lost us that game. Going now to the Chargers, he single-handedly gave that game to them. In every way he could have, he made the wrong decision. If there was a right decision to be made, he did the opposite of that. And this was the worst game of Jalen Hurts' career ever. And that is the only upside I see from this game, is that I do not think it can be worse. You cannot have a worse performance than that unless you go full Nathan Peterman. And I am hoping that doesn't happen. I don't think it will, given the remaining schedule. And I do think that Jalen is the type of guy to learn from his mistakes, especially ones like this. But that was abysmal. And now I want to talk more to the wide receivers, because you cannot have an all-pro wide receiver drop a pass that leads to an interception like that. You also cannot have him drop a touchdown, a go-ahead score that seals the game.
Right in his hands, too.
Right in his hands. That was the only perfect throw of the night for Hurts, and he dropped it. There was no breakup, dropped. The throw to him over the middle, sure, it was high, but you are paid the money to catch those balls. Catch the ball. Devontae Smith, I'm coming for you too. On that screenplay, when it was 3rd down, a chance to get them into the 2-minute warning, wide open, you had a lane to go, there were blockers, you drop the ball. Saquon had a great game. Troy Aikman kept seeing lanes that were open that you were actively avoiding. And I don't know if that's game plan. I don't know if it's that's just what your vision was last year and the O-line was good. But wow, Jordan Mailata on his ass every play, dominated, getting destroyed. What is going on with him? False starting, holding. That Saquon touchdown happened because he got away with a massive hold. And it is just, this team, to me, looks like they don't want to win. It just looks like it. And I can't explain it, that there is something there. but they just don't want to win.
The
Because
big bunny.
yeah, the bunny.
The
Because
bunny.
when he needed to do it, and when he needed to go down the field and get us the game-winning drive, that was the one time this game that I saw Jalen come alive at all. And I'm sorry, but you cannot wait until the overtime must-have-it play to finally do anything. You just can't do that if you're getting paid the amount of money we're paying you to do this. And when it had to happen, the defender, that interception, that was a bad game-sealing one. The defender made an absolute insanely good play that was a great play. And that ball to Dotson, I like the call. I like it. He was open. He had a chance to get it, but the defender just tipped it, and the guy behind Dotson made an absolutely amazing play to seal it. It was as bad of a showing from the offense versus as good of a showing from the defense. And it gets me to thinking we have a Super Bowl caliber defense and a wild card to miss the playoffs caliber offense, which makes no sense considering we are spending the most amount of money in the league on this offense that just doesn't seem like they want to play. The defense vibes are outstanding. Do you see the vibes after they do anything? They all are excited. They have each other's backs. The defense is vibing out there. And then you have the offense who just looks dead. They don't care. They don't want to win. They don't want to do this. And it gets me to thinking, is it because they're like, we're Super Bowl champions? What do we have to prove this season? Like, what is going on here? I don't understand. And back to Jalen before I want you guys to give your 2 cents here. I'm not going to blame the coaching anymore because at this point it is so much more than coaching. I'm not going to blame Sirianni. I don't think Sirianni did anything wrong this game. I don't think Patullo did anything wrong this game. I do not think that we could keep looking at the coaching and be like, oh yeah, no, this, Kevin Patullo, man, he needs to go. This isn't his fault this season. And it took until now to see it, but this is the fault purely right now of the players. I think that the offensive players are at fault. The O-line. Kevin Patullo cannot go to the O-line and be like, hey guys, this is how you block. No, the O-line should know how to do that. Saquon should be seeing these lanes. He should be doing that. That is not Kevin Patullo's job to go, hey, Saquon, so there's one right there that's going to open up. He is the running back. See the lane. Jalen, he gives you a bad play, call a different one. Or honestly, maybe you did that and that's what happened. But also, what we're seeing now, and I think that this is okay, and I want Eagles fans who listen to this, who get very passionate, me included, about our quarterbacks, to know that this is okay. It is okay that Jalen Hurts could maybe his way that he succeeds is with a good O-line and run game. And guess what? That's how 90% of quarterbacks succeed. That's okay. And you know what? If you have that, you could get that. But if you don't have that and this is how you play, why are you getting paid money that other quarterbacks who don't have that can go out there and do more? And I love Jalen. He's the guy. I don't want him to be benched. I think people asking for him to be benched are dumb. You put Tanner McKee in there, who is a pure pocket passer, we are worse. He cannot escape the pocket. The O-line breaks down in 2 seconds. He's going down. You cannot bench him. I think you got to stick with him. I still think that he's our guy. He's the best franchise quarterback we've had. You just have to, you need to get guys around him, and you need to get that O-line around him. You need to get this running game going. But as of now, it's looking tough. However, the only optimism I have is that I don't think it could get worse.
Oh, it can. No, here's what I'll say. Kudos to Dallas Goedert.
He was great.
Because I mean, he caught 80%.
He was the only guy who showed up.
And that's where I was going to go with that. 8 out of 10, right? He had 10 targets, 8 catches. Second in the team in receiving. Obviously, A.J. Brown had the most. But also caught 50% of the balls thrown his way. So here's, I did a little dive before. So you haven't scored, the Eagles haven't scored more than 21 since that game against the Giants, where they scored 38-20. Okay, at that time the Eagles were 6-2. Cool, that's one stat. But let's go back to a more important. Again, record. You can't control who you play, and when you play them. You can't control if a team's going to be good. But the last time this offense, or let me rephrase it, last time this team scored more than 21 points against a team with a winning record right now in the season is when they played the Buccaneers in Week 4.
Mm-hmm.
Put the Eagles at 4-0. They won 31-25. One of those touchdowns was a defensive touchdown. That game, Jalen Hurts had 130 yards passing, 2 touchdowns.
And he didn't complete a pass in the second half.
So what I'm saying is this feels like it's been a bigger issue on the season. Rather, like right now it feels like the sky is falling. But genuinely, it feels like this offense has been broken all year. And that's like even on their bigger games and on their games where they've played better against better teams, right? We even talked about like that first game against the Cowboys, but they had that giant, mishap by Miles Sanders at one point during the game, right? Like you have these moments where that defense is saving them. And if that's what needs to happen, that's great. We see teams succeed like that.
Yeah.
The Denver Broncos, the Houston Texans, that can happen. But the issue is, and it's what we talked about, is that you also need to rely on your quarterback to not give away the game.
Yeah, and that's what he used to do so well.
Correct. And I think if he can find that, again, we talked about like the Chiefs. They have the weapons on their team. The Eagles do. Probably, but they need a leader, right? They need your good vibes bunny is not doing it, man. And so what I'm saying is like this feels like it's sky is falling right now, but if you look deeper, it's been the whole season. This offense has struggled, and this offense has done best when you don't have to rely on the arm of Jalen Hurts to get you there.
Yeah.
We did that deep dive earlier in 4 weeks ago when we did that, where I looked at all the games. I said, when you're winning, Jalen Hurts is not throwing over 200 yards, and that's okay. He doesn't have
That's
to.
how Lamar wins. And I'm like, nobody, like, why is that so bad?
How you won last
do
year.
that, Jalen.
Well, and the difference is Lamar doesn't have a number one wide receiver that's chirping.
Oh, true, though.
So that's my big thing is that when egos aren't in the way, when egos are not at play, I think the Eagles actually could unlock this.
I mean, when they played the Giants, guess who wasn't playing?
Yep. Yeah.
Do you think he's the issue, Brayden?
I think he's a major part of the issue. I think the biggest issue is that it's egos alongside, because you brought up Devontae Smith. I like Devontae Smith. I like AJ Brown. I think he's a good wide receiver. But it's the thing of like you see them on the sideline and they're talking to each other and they're and you can see they're talking about Jalen Hurts, right? And so it's that thing of they don't have the faith in their quarterback to get them the ball.
Well, that's what is. I don't think that Devontae Smith feels that way, because you can see, and like I'll reference Hard Knocks a bit. He and Jalen talk all the time, and those two are legit like best friends. Like he and AJ were, and I don't know what happened with them now. We saw them like celebrating together, so maybe they're cool. And AJ did publicly like defend him for this game. But yeah, I don't think Devontae Smith is talking about Jalen that way. And I'm not even going to go as far as to say that AJ is. But I do think that AJ's chatter earlier in the season really didn't help them.
Yeah, I think it got in their head. I like already an offense that is doing actually fairly well without having to pass well. Now being shoehorned into a position where you have to pass, that's not their identity. And I don't think that's if you're leaning into.
They can't be a pass first team.
No,
they can't. They never have been, though. Even with Wentz, they were a run-first team. Even with Vic, they were a run-first team. Like, this team doesn't.
I mean, even with McNabb back in
with
the day,
McNabb,
you had Shady McCoy that was running all over defenses, right?
It's just why would you abandon that? And I guess like Josh, you could go in a sec. I just like have like these Saquon. What is going on? Is the O-line that you're going to tell me that this O-line that was the best O-line in the league is one of the worst this year?
Yes.
It's not the same O-line. Think about the injuries. Think about everything that's changed about it from last year to this year. It's different.
I know, but Lane Johnson, who is going to retire at some point, he's going to be gone, cannot be the only guy on O-line that could do any of this. Why did we get Cam Jurgens? Why did we get Jordan Mailata and Landon Dickerson if they're just going to false start and hold every play and then make their music? What does Tyler Steen even do? Fred Johnson, awesome guy, good vibes guy, comes in every once in a while to make a play. He can't start. Like, what are we... Mekhi Becton was great for this team, but, I mean, we're seeing him on the Chargers now. He's not the answer. What do you do?
I will say take it from a guy who saw, Travis Frederick, Tyrone Smith, Zach Martin, right? Like, we had the best offensive line for all those years. And I will say, as an offense, when you start losing those guys, it's a rude awakening.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Yeah, Zeke fell off. I mean, it was that thing of as soon as that offensive line was not there, he couldn't. It's not that he was a bad running back all of a sudden, right? Like, yeah, he got a little bit slower, but he wasn't like age maybe hit a little bit, but it wasn't like he all of a sudden lost his vision. It was more in the fact of he's used to these holes being there, and they're no longer there. And as a running back being used to that for so long, and even a quarterback, like we can even talk about, being used to that amount of time, it is a rude awakening when in preseason you're not sitting there playing these number one defenses, so your O-line is not getting, their rear ends handed to them. You're sitting there, you don't see that until the regular season. I think that's what's happening with you guys right now. I think that's genuinely the main issue.
And you know what? When the O-line is bad, the quarterback tends to play bad. We see Mahomes without an O-line, and it's not
Josh Allen
good.
against
Josh
the
Allen
Texans.
Josh Allen
was terrible against the like, if your team doesn't have an O-line, you're not going to be good. And I guess like with Jalen, what makes it so tough for him is that, he takes a little longer to go through his progressions. And another thing, do you see when they snap the ball how much time off the shot clock, the play clock is like gone? They are taking 20 seconds to call a play. That is not normal.
That's where I will say it might go back to your OC. Like,
that also is where I could also be like,
your offense it's three things. It's Saquon up the middle, it's AJ deep ball, and then like you have the tush push, I guess.
No, we don't even have that.
You don't even have
67%.
That's coming to an end. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to get a little more creative. I will say though, I want to give Jalen his flowers. He's generational. I've never seen a quarterback throw an interception, recover a fumble, and then fumble the football again. That was crazy.
I think he is the first quarterback ever to do something like that.
First player ever to throw an interception and fumble on the same play. First player ever.
Crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Generational.
Generational.
The monsters stream, the Monsters Inc. stream.
It
broke. And they had no idea what to do with it.
It was bad, dude. It was. I mean, go down. Go down, dude. What are you? You just got a new set of downs. Go down.
It was
if he throws that pick and he gets the ball back and he goes down, isn't that first down?
I'm pretty sure, because it's a change in possession and then a change in possession.
Yeah.
So it's an automatic
what is he
first
doing,
down.
Bro, like get that you had the ball and then you just decided to drop it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's where I'm kind of like, well, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. I'm gonna go full delusion because I started thinking for a second. Okay, I started thinking.
Welcome to the club, baby.
I started thinking. What's being filmed right now? Hard Knocks, NFC East. What makes for good TV? A great comeback story.
An implosion?
No. Listen, a great comeback story makes for good TV. So, okay, this Hard Knocks started with the Eagles losing against the Cowboys, then the Raiders, then the Bears. Uh-oh. and then
the Raiders?
and then the Raiders and the Chargers.
So that's 3 they're down. Next
pretty
episode is going to start with Jalen and Sirianni. And they're going to go on a run, go undefeated for the rest of the season, punch their ticket into the postseason, punch their ticket out of the wild card round, to the divisional, to the championship game against the Rams, and to the Super Bowl, where Jalen Hurts will get his Super Bowl MVP number 2 and win the Super Bowl.
It's not a comeback
It's a perfect
if you were
story.
never down.
Well, okay. Well, like, well, 0-3. 0-3.
This entire time I've been like, no.
You're defending champs. No. 0-3. I mean, we're down.
you're down, I guess. But also, look, I'll stay with you, Freddie. Jerry Jones can pay for whatever he wants. I believe he could pay for.
He
some
still
Eagles
thinks
losses.
the tie was paid for.
I know the tie was paid for. The
tie
anyway.
is saving your bacon right now. Okay, you're sitting alone at the top there.
No. That tie was paid for by Jerry Jones. It would have been a win, not a loss, if it wasn't for that. Yeah, it's just. I remember I said it last week. If you lose 3 in a row, I'm gonna start feeling real bad. I still think the math helps you. You have enough wins.
I think we made a big enough window to beat the Cowboys out.
I think your window's big enough. To just you gotta win 2, and then the Cowboys have no choice but to be perfect. So beat the Commanders once, and then beat the Raiders. You should still be fine. You'll be probably the 3 seed if I had to guess, because dude, the Cowboys are not Jaws.
Yeah,
we're coming, baby.
Jaws.
We're getting so sued after this episode.
Yeah, we're losing all our money.
But yeah, that was Jalen Hurts' worst game.
Worst game ever. And that's I think the upside is that he can't really have a worse game.
He had more turnovers than Jordan Love did this season.
Yeah, I know. You kept texting it every 10
I just want to
seconds.
reemphasize.
Every 10 seconds you kept texting it. But listen.
Hey, it could always get worse.
I don't
5
think
turnovers. It can't get worse than that.
I don't think it really can.
That's worse than Max Brosmer.
That's one quarterback having that many turnovers is unbelievable. And it's just from a guy who doesn't turn the ball over, you become the guy who turns the ball over instantly. Like there is no middle ground where it's like, oh no, he just did that one game. No. You've done that now 2 games where your turnovers have cost us a defense that, by the way, both games the defense has played well. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to sit here and say they haven't. Against the Bears, they were gassed. They were not off the field once. They had to be there the whole time. Damn, I'm tired. Yeah, against the Chargers, they were on the field a lot of the time, but they made plays. They made Herbert, and I'm going to give credit to Herbert here. Herbert played his ass off for somebody with a broken hand. However, it wasn't pretty. But again, he had a broken hand. I'm not going to tear him up for it. He played a good game. The defense did intercept him. They made him fumble. You had 2 chances, Jalen, and all you needed to do was not throw a pick. In fact, the fact that even in overtime you were in the prime opportunity to win the game and didn't do it speaks to how much of a loss was you beating yourself. This wasn't like the Chargers won because they outplayed you. You were the reason. You were just bad. Like, you lost this game.
Was that a 4th down, or was that
was
on a
1st
3rd down?
and 10?
That was 1st and 10. Oh,
1st and 10 on your own 20, or on their 20.
I couldn't remember. Wow.
Like, you could have just gone for a short play, and you're probably getting the first. You will win that game if you just go for the chunk plays. But he went for the freaking hero ball to Jahan Dotson, and it just, like, I mean, he's our guy. He's our quarterback. I'm just so tired of these Eagles primetime games. Why do we have so many, man? There's been
defending champs.
We have another one. The Commanders, December 20th is a primetime game. Like,
hey, Freddie, season's not over for you. You're making the postseason.
Yeah, I agree.
I think your ceiling is just, it's not. You were talking dynasty. All right, you were talking start of a dynasty. And
that's still on the table.
It technically, but it's like you're gonna make it to the postseason. If you can turn it around by then, maybe you can win a playoff game. But I think, like the Chiefs, maybe a reset button is necessary going into next year. You have still a really good roster, really good team. Fix that O-line. You're going to be competitive. Now, you might not win the division next year. It might be the Cowboys, just because people don't tend to repeat in the East like that, except for this year, I guess. But
here's the thing. I want to, going back to that. They can't turn it around this year. It's what, week 14 now? 15.
Yeah,
week 15. If you don't have your team by week 15, you're not going to have it. So I agree with Brayden. Do what you were doing in the beginning of the year because you won. Don't have Jalen throw it that much. Even if Saquon is not getting the yardage and you got to punt and you got to be the most punting team in the league, your defense is good enough to where you can do that. You just cannot turn the ball over. That's it.
So-
That's why we lost to the Cowboys too, by the way, was a fumble
Yeah.
by Saquon and by Gibson. Like, you can't, who's now off the Eagles, but you cannot, if you just don't turn the ball over, the Eagles go undefeated here. And that's all you need to do. That's all
So
you need to do.
I'll position you this. End of the first half this week against the Raiders. Eagles are winning 10-7. Do you call that a win?
If they're
I
winning-
genuinely think if you're beating the Raiders, because if your offense has not scored 17 points or 14 points, like if your offense has only scored 1 touchdown in the first half against the Raiders this week,
Yeah.
because their run defense is their strength too.
Yeah. Well,
I'm genuinely a little worried that they're going to blow that game.
well, here's the thing.
If it's that close at halftime.
If it's 10-7 and we have no turnovers and, we're not throwing it much and we're just running it and playing conservative, I'm cool. I'm chilling. Because I believe that they could go into the second half doing the same thing and win. Because I don't believe in the Raiders enough. I believe if they win that 10-7 and that's the final score, I won't care. The bar is so low that a win is a win now. And, we could beat the Commanders doing that, and I weirdly think we could beat the Bills doing that because they do not have anybody. I think we can. I think we can.
Bills is a loss.
I think we could beat the Bills doing that, and I think that we could beat the Commanders doing that twice. So if we went out here, and again, Brayden's bet, what I failed to realize is that, we could say the Cowboys wild card is not a possibility. That wild card is a possibility.
It's really not.
Dude,
it's the division.
the Lions or Bears could collapse.
Yeah, but
Or Niners too. We're counting out the 49ers.
well, sure, but it's not there. The math isn't there. You can look at the record. If the Lions collapse, then that means the Bears are doing well enough to keep that 7 seed. And if the Bears collapse, that means the Lions are going to do well enough to still stay. It's just you're talking about most of these teams. I think all teams in the playoffs except that NFC South team, which is the Bucks or the Panthers. I think it's the Bucks currently. They all have like 10 or 9 wins in the wild card. It's just you're not getting the wild card spot. It's
I don't know.
division or
if
bust.
they do, even if they get a wild card spot, we lose our bet.
It's division or bust for them. They can't reach those wins. All these teams have to work.
Freddie's
do worse.
sweating. He's already. I can see.
I'm not. I'm not worried about
Josh,
the Cowboys
how do we
winning
convince
the
10
wild card.
people, bro? Nobody's gonna believe us.
You got to remember the Cowboys fans are delusional and they travel pretty well. So you're gonna
You have
find
to convince.
No,
they
it's
have to be
non-Cowboys
new
fans.
conversions. They have
new
to be
conversions.
Yeah,
we
it
have
has
to
to-
find non-Cowboys fans.
You just have to. If
It's
they can't be
impossible,
odd,
dude.
like they can't be like, oh, I'm a Cowboys fan. You got to ask them what their favorite team is, and then yeah.
So if they're not a Cowboys fan, then they're off the table.
No, if they're not a Cowboys fan, then they are on the.
Or I'm
table.
sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
That makes it
Damn,
harder.
that sucks.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
Anyway, Eagles at Raiders next week. I got the Eagles winning that one. I don't really. If they drop that one, that's pretty much the season. Brayden wins his bet. But yeah,
Our conversation has actually made me turn it. I'm gonna say Raiders.
You're going Raiders. I'm going Eagles.
13.
Jeez, no, I'm going Eagles. Question though, I don't think we covered it. Broncos Packers. Who you guys got? I'm curious.
I do have the Broncos that game. This is the first time I'm picking against the Packers. Since
Okay.
Josh has joined the show, I'm picking the Broncos.
I'm gonna say Packers 20-10.
All right, it's gonna be a hardest game, but I do think we have a good enough team to pull it out. So I'm gonna pick the Packers. But Eagles, I'm gonna say it again, like I said last week. You should be fine. Stop
should be.
losing. Stop losing. That's 3 in a row ever since I've joined, bro.
Yeah, you should
Josh is
keep
banned.
coming. Keep being
Josh
here.
is banned from the podcast. You're 1-1.
I'm feeling good, man.
All right, it's time for the flotilla. Our favorites.
Let's go.
The build up to that was not existent.
There's no build-up
I'm
anymore.
excited. Hey, I'm excited for the flotilla this week.
Me too.
I'm not. Sucks.
Maybe during this part we can get a "Go Pack Go" chant music going.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, go
No.
Pack Go. Yeah, come on.
We
All
can't,
right.
dude, man. We can't play anything that's a song.
I'll get the rights. I got it. I have some ownership stake. I'll send an email.
All right, flotilla time. Temporarily on land, Daniel
Oh.
Jones. That might be
Rest in
just a
peace.
plank because
Yeah.
I don't think he's coming back
He's not.
Yeah.
just by default. Plank watch. Kenny Pickett, Kirk Cousins.
Did Kenny Pickett play?
Kenny
Kenny Pickett didn't play. He played.
When did he play?
Because I think didn't he play this weekend?
I
don't know.
You guys, does nobody watch the Raiders?
I think you don't like Kenny Pickett. I thought
No, he
don't
played
watch
against.
the-
He played this weekend.
No way.
Wow.
I had
Yeah,
no
really?
idea.
Does nobody watch the Raiders games? Are we serious?
No.
No,
Why?
not at all.
Why does nobody care?
Nobody cares about the Raiders.
Nobody cares.
No, he played. He was 8 of 11 for 97 yards and a touchdown.
Hey, that's pretty good. Get him
Yeah,
on
but
Plank
I
watch.
don't think he's
Against
doing
the
anything.
Broncos, there we go.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing anything. Kenny Pickett and Kirk Cousins, plank watch. Gino's been off for a while. Nobody has walked the plank yet. Let's move to the boiler room. Purdy, Rodgers, Brissett, and Daniels, man. They are all down there right now. Purdy, bye week. Rodgers, I don't know,
He looked vintage this week, man.
Brissett.
Come
He
on,
looked
he
so
looked good.
good. He looked
Okay,
so good.
Sure.
Are you kidding?
Brissett,
He brought the belt out and everything.
Brissett, you're not going off. Daniels, get ready to learn. You're walking the plank, buddy. You're done.
Get ready to learn landlubber.
Passengers, CJ, Lamar, Dart, Shador, Young, and Baker.
All right.
All passengers this week. CJ, you won. Cool, you're the new Trevor Lawrence. You're staying there. Lamar Jackson, bad game. You're dropping. Jackson, Dart, bye week. Shador, good game. Great game
Great
by
game.
you. You're going up. Bryce Young, my king, you are staying right there. And Baker, bad game again. You're dropping down, buddy. Not looking good for Bake Show over here.
He just looks
Moving up to
banged out, man.
crewmates. Bo Nix, Hertz, Herbert, Caleb, Burrow, and Trevor Lawrence moves up. First time talking about him on the show, he moves up finally. Joe Burrow had to drop you a little bit, man. You lost that game for your team. That pick six and then the interception right after really hurt. Caleb
Those are pretty rough.
moved down. Not a good game. Herbert, you played a bad game, so you're staying where you are. You're not moving up, not moving down. Totally fine. Hurts, second time in a row that you've lost the game for your team. And Bo Nix, you almost blew it, so you're staying right there in crewmates. Moving on up to first mates, Mahomes, Dak, Goff, and Darnold.
Whoa.
Mahomes
hey.
moves down.
Oh, yeah.
I did say that if he had 3 bad games in a row, I'd have to move him down.
I'm not even talking about that one.
Oh, I know. We'll get there. Keep going, Freddy.
Dak, you lost. You're staying down there. Goff is staying there. I can't put him up right yet. And Darnold, you're staying there as well. Moving on to our captains of the week, we got Allen, Love, Stafford, and May for our captains of the week. Allen, amazing effort to win that game, dude. Like, legit put the team on his back. Love has been playing good for 2 weeks now. He's been playing better than all of the guys under him for 2 weeks now. How do you justify him not being a captain? I don't know. Matthew Stafford is the MVP, and Drake May is still playing great. Nothing to really say about him. Let's get our thoughts.
Well, can I just say first, this isn't gonna, anyone listening isn't gonna realize this, but when it goes up, Brayden sat back in the camera, zoomed in on him, just sitting there scowling. It was hilarious.
The auto zoom on Zoom has been crazy today.
Oh, my thing doesn't even get auto zoom. What the hell?
It was so funny. It just zoomed in on his face. This is exactly what I want to see. Yeah, a couple of things. I do think, Rodgers can move up and you can move one of those guys down. He had a really vintage performance. And I have really no complaints. Yeah, this is a good list to me, Freddie.
I think you got to put, Jalen Hurts temporarily in the poop deck. It's a completely different
tier.
segment, different tier. But you know what? He earned it for the poop deck play he had this week. So I think beyond that,
We don't have a poop deck. We don't have a poop deck.
Poop deck watch.
No. He's not poop deck watch.
I think Dak played well enough, but I'm biased.
Yeah, but he lost, so he
Why
had to
would
come
he be a
down and Love had to
captain?
come up.
He's been a captain. You moved him down this week.
Yeah, I moved him down
Yeah.
last week, and
Love
he
had to get
stayed
up.
the same.
No. You moved him down this week. This is the first
Oh,
time.
yeah.
he's,
Yeah, he lost.
Yeah, okay.
Who's he
Okay.
above? Who's he above in that category?
No, he's above Pat Mahomes, Jared Goff, and Darnold. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but
Okay, but
all right,
he's
so
not better
make
than
him-
Stafford, Drake May.
No, he doesn't have to be better than. He has to be equal to
equal to who?
Jordan
He's
Love.
not equal
He's
to
not
those
equal.
guys ahead of him.
But he's not.
I
He
put him
lost.
on tier with Jordan Love, man.
No, Jordan Love is playing.
Jordan Love has been
way
playing better.
Nah.
Yes.
Okay.
Nah.
What do you mean? Jordan Love was 17 of 25 for 234 and 3 touchdowns. He with a 120 rating
Nah.
and a win.
Nah.
Great. I think in 3 weeks he has past 2 weeks it's 7 touchdowns and 1
You know
interception.
what? Braden's starting to convince me. Nah.
Nah.
Okay, I'm gonna stop talking because I love
Nah.
this list.
All right,
Yeah,
there we go.
It's
There's
not
the
a
flip
terrible
side.
list. It's just very bad.
Yeah, okay. Any list that doesn't have Dak as Braden's top guy
Yep.
is just bad.
No, it was good. It was honest. It was real. I liked it.
Listen, I try to just be the most honest guy in sports.
And look, we're just saying Jordan Love is playing himself into the MVP conversation.
Jordan
Slowly
Love
but
is
surely.
not going to be the MVP.
I'm not
John.
saying he's gonna be the MVP. I'm just saying he's playing himself into the conversation. He's like, I think he's got
Braden's
third or
face,
fourth
look at
odds.
Braden.
Third or fourth odds, I think. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to Braden's tiers. Braden, you've got some
I got a
tiers.
fun one this week, man.
Are they as pungent as my tiers were on Monday night?
They are so fun. Okay, so look, it was a rough week for Freddy. So I wanted to have a little bit of fun this week, and Stranger Things, the new season came out a couple weeks ago. Really, really good. Go watch it. We're not sponsored by them, but we could be.
Although we hate the Netflix merger.
Yeah. We're
like
we're
the
owned
Netflix
by Warner Brothers, so yeah, Netflix owns us now, or Paramount. Who knows? So anyways, so these tiers, so I have. It's not necessarily tiered like greater than or worse than. I just have tiers, and I'm gonna explain them to you. So you have sitcoms or TV shows on the left here. So you have should I wait for you, Freddy, or do you?
No, you could go. I'm gonna just put it up here. You guys can pull it up on your thing. I'm gonna just put it right here on the side.
Okay, cool. So you have I'll go through all of these tiers and then I'll tell you which teams are in which. So the TV shows that we're choosing from, you have How I Met Your Mother, you have Seinfeld, you have New Girl, you have Community, you have Friends, you have BoJack Horseman, and you have Stranger Things. Okay, so let's start with How I Met Your Mother. How I Met Your Mother tier is, this is the, like, consistently great, super, super fun, super, like, genuinely has, like, a good storyline. These are the teams that are going to be just fun throughout the entire year and then end terribly. Have a terrible finale. So you have the Baltimore Ravens, the Buffalo Bills, and the LA Rams this year. Yeah, that's right. So then you go into Seinfeld. This is that team that is a classic, right? This is like a team that was probably way better in the 90s, but an absolute classic stud.
Josh hates this.
Yeah, a staple of the NFL. They may not be winning this year, but gosh darn it, every year they're going to be in the conversation for the best teams. You have the Patriots, the Steelers, the Dallas Cowboys, the Green Bay Packers, and the San Francisco 49ers. After that, you have New Girl, which has a like phenomenal, run. It's fun. It's lighthearted. I love it. I want to like genuinely sit down and watch all of it. It's quirky, It's exciting. And then you try to forget that the last season didn't happen. Like this season, the last season's terrible, and so you try to forget it. So the teams that are having a terrible season this year but are fun and quirky, you have the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Lions, and the Buccaneers. After that, you have Community. Community is the wild card. They have the Gas League season that's just like wild and weird. Has a good finale, but also is just like kind of up and down. Really, really funny. The highs are like the most insane highs ever, but also they may have been like 10 years ago. Like it may have been in the first season. So yeah, that's where you have, because those lows are pretty gosh darn low. That's where you have the Bengals, the Texans, the Indianapolis Colts, the New York Giants, and the Seattle Seahawks. Then you go over to Friends. Friends is, It was really, really popular back in the day. It had some really, really great moments. It is a staple, but also time-wise, it hasn't held up. A lot of homophobic jokes. And so,
The Jets are pretty homophobic.
And so, yeah, there you go. So you have the teams that were, like, really good, but also, like, if you're like, I like Friends, it's my favorite show, everyone kind of looks at you and goes, ugh. You have the Jets, the Broncos, the Minnesota Vikings, and the New Orleans Saints. Then you have BoJack Horseman. Great show, phenomenal show, but super depressing. Absolutely depressing. It's weird. It's quirky. Sometimes it's fun, but most times it makes you want to kill yourself. So you have the Miami Dolphins, the Tennessee Titans, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Washington Commanders, the Cleveland Browns, the Atlanta Falcons, and the Arizona Cardinals. And last but not least, you have Stranger Things. For the most part, Stranger Things is fun, but also I don't know what's happening with it. You've got the normal world half the time, but other on the other side, you got the Upside Down. You never know what's gonna pop out. And you don't know if you're going to see a Demogorgon that's going to drop 0 points or if you're going to have Will Byers, kicking tail in the most recent season. That's all I'll say. No spoilers. So you got the Jacksonville Jaguars over there, the Chargers, the Chicago Bears, and the Carolina Panthers, because these are the teams that I genuinely don't know what's going on this year, but hey, we're having fun regardless. So those are my tiers this week. Am I wrong? I think it was fun. I think it was good.
I just need to say, this, Brayden, bravo, man. This was the best tiers I have seen.
Oh, thank you. I put a lot of heart into this one.
Stranger Things a sitcom? What are we counting as a sitcom now?
It's a TV show. BoJack Horseman's not a sitcom. It's
BoJack isn't.
TV.
No, it's not. No, it's not at all.
Yeah. So
no, I fully agree with this. Packers did peak in the '90s. They probably won't again. I agree with the new girl. I agree with the new girl. Take all those teams that are known for being good, except the Lions, not having a good year, not having a great season. But yeah, the peak in '90s Packers and Cowboys, I agree with that.
Sweet.
Look, I'll say this: Ravens, have they had a fun storyline this year? Has it been fun for Ravens?
No.
Hey, they should be out of it, but you know what? They're not.
I guess so. Yeah, I'm sure the Ravens are having a lot of fun right now. They're not
sure
stressed
the vibes,
at all.
Marlon Humphrey's podcast is probably great right now.
Definitely. And I'll say this. Look, I grew up in Atlanta, and I get asked a lot, like, oh, why aren't you a Falcons fan sometimes? That's why. I mean, I chose not to do that, right? So, yeah. I mean, I picked the Packers very early on for my own reasons, but thank God I picked the Packers, because if I was a Falcons fan, I would. Yeah, I'd want to kill myself.
Yep, 28-3.
You don't have to remind me of that. It's still that still hurt because obviously I was rooting for the Falcons, and I was at a Patriots fan's house for that party. Oh, it was awful.
Oh man,
terrible season. And Brayden, it's a good list. It's fun. You nailed it. No complaints.
Yeah, that was pretty good. We got to get Josh a segment, man. Josh needs to do no peck. No, I don't even know what he should do.
Dude, I'm just I'm a vibes guy. I am Bears Packers.
Josh is a glue guy. That's it.
He's a glue guy.
I'm having the best season out of all of us right now because I'm not stressed. Vibes are great for me. I don't need a segment. I'm just the fun guy.
You're just Kevin Love on like every team in the last decade.
You know what's gonna happen? When, God forbid that the Packers lose in the wild card round, because Josh will not come in for the show.
Stop.
I guarantee he will call out.
Nah, I will always be here now. Luckily, that's not happening, so I'm not concerned.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, because you'll lose the second round. You'll get the first
we're
round
not
bye.
even playing.
No, it'll be the NFC Championship game. Don't worry. It'll be just like Matt LaFleur.
Super Bowl.
Micah Parsons will get a face mask on the last play. Put the team in a field goal range. They'll kick a field goal and win. And that's why we'll have a Chicago Bears Super Bowl.
Oh no.
Yeah, okay. Look, the Bears are having fun, but they're about a year too early for that kind of conversation.
They're still in the upside down. There we go.
There you go.
Well, this was a great episode. It brought up my spirits a little bit, and you guys helped me be optimistic about our future. Well,
I don't know why.
Some of you guys helped me be optimistic. Oh, it's looking rough, man. Well, we have been behind
the NFC
enemy
East
lines.
is interesting. Sorry, go ahead. My bad.
We've been behind enemy lines and we will see you in the next episode where it gets real now. We'll see you then.
How about them Cowboys?
Go Birds.
That was a fun one.